Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another MMATakeover.com interview of the week. Today's guest has a 17-4 record and is making his second appearance in the UFC. He fights Jason Gonzalez on January 28th on UFC on Fox 23. He is JC Cottrell. JC, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on. The first question we always ask is, how did you get into mixed martial arts?
I was ineligible in college wrestling. My coach told me to find something productive to do.
Okay, were you hurt?
No, I was ineligible because I didn't turn in my NCAA release form in time. My coach told me to find something productive to do, and I had a friend that was already asking me if I was interested.
And where did you wrestle in college?
University of Central Oklahoma.
And why didn't you return to wrestling?
Well, the next year I ended up being ineligible for grades. Went to college for all the wrong reasons and had all the right fun.
So, JC, how'd you get the nickname the Superstar?
A joke. There were some forums on the MMA Underground, and I had a fight that was coming up. I was getting ready to fight Josh Pulsfer for the XFL title, and I don't remember if it was my coach or people on there bragging about me or something, and the guy that I was supposed to fight started calling me a superstar. Oh, he's such a superstar. He can do this and this. So we kind of ran with it. My coach told me, you know what, you need to come out with that as your nickname.
So where are you training, and who are some of the coaches you're training with?
Normally I train at Academy of Martial Arts. That's my home gym in Oklahoma City. I spent my first 5 weeks of camp there getting ready, and then now I'm out here at Factory X Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu out here in Colorado.
And who else should we be watching coming out of your gym?
Mario Dennis, Myron Dennis, Shakir. I could try to pronounce his last name. I would probably mess it up. Angel Garcia. I mean, there's Tavares Collins. There's a bunch.
So tell me, how did a guy from Oklahoma hook up with a team in Colorado?
Doing cryotherapy with Cortez Coleman one day, and his coach was there, and I met with him, and soon after I got a call about a fight in Colorado. Knew I needed to come up here and acclimate, and I'm glad I did. Mark's a great coach.
So you got the call from the UFC to replace Tony Martin and face Michael Praceres on just about a week's notice. Was the call something you expected, or was it a surprise?
I've been expecting that phone call. I mean, I'm glad it came as late as it did because I'm more ready now than I would have been then, but I was ready for it way prior.
All right, and tell us how the call came in. Was it to you? Was it to your manager? How did it work out?
They called my manager, and my manager called me. It wasn't no really good once upon a time story, but it felt pretty good to get that phone call.
Did you have to cut a lot of weight to make that fight?
No, I had actually just fought at 145 3 weeks prior, and then actually I wasn't even training or anything. Got the call. I mean, you can't say no.
Now, is 155 the weight class you would like to fight at, or do you have plans to move back down to 145?
No, I fought 145 all the way to 170. I mean, 55 is where I feel the best, but I mean, I feel like 145 is, I mean, with everyone cutting weight the way that they do, 45 is probably a better weight class for me, but 55 is where I feel the best.
And how much weight did you have to cut for this fight?
Maybe 10 pounds. I mean, I lose a lot of mass to get down to 45, so I mean, it was a pretty quick jump to jump back to 55.
So you mentioned Darren Elkins and other UFC fighters. What advice did these guys give you to help prepare for your debut?
What advice would I give them?
No. What advice did they give you?
Just people tell me that I belong there. I mean, just go out there and prove it. Go out there and have fun. I mean, it helped me out a lot. I went out there. I mean, I didn't have no jitters. I mean, the one thing someone should have said to me is when Sean Shelby gives you the talk about, hey, it's 10,000 to win and 50,000 to knock them out, I probably shouldn't have kind of tossed the $10,000 out the window and was looking for that bonus.
You fought Michael Praceres in a very competitive fight. You got in some really good scrambles. It seemed like the difference in the fight, though, was his ability to take you down, even though you did get up several times. Do you believe that if you had a full camp that fight would have been any different?
Yeah, it would have been a lot different, and it had a lot to do with it being my first fight in the UFC and hunting for bonuses. I mean, I've never had a chance to make $50,000 in 15 minutes. That was an opportunity I was trying to take advantage of, and I should have sat back and waited for it to come to me rather than chase it the whole time. Probably wouldn't have got taken down so much.
Just for the record, so with a full camp, do you believe you would have won that fight?
Yes.
Now, is that a rematch that you'd like to have?
Sure, I wouldn't be complaining. I mean, it'd be nice to get a couple other fights under my belt and then crack back at them. I mean, it's not like they're gonna. It's not a sellable thing for them to just go, hey, you and Michelle Prazeres rematch. I mean, it doesn't do anything for them. It doesn't do anything for him either. So I mean, maybe if I win a couple fights, that might be something he'd be willing to do.
So you were facing Jason Gonzalez. How's training going for that fight?
I'm really good. I mean, I had a good 5-week camp back at home, and I'm out here with Mark Montoya and all the guys out here at Factory X, and man, there's high-level guys out here. I mean, I'm working with James Krause, Derek Adkins, a lot of guys that are out here. Chris Camozzi, Brian Camozzi.
And how long have you been out there training?
I've been out here a little over a week now. Got out here last Sunday.
And how long is the hard training going to go to?
Probably until the Monday prior.
Now, are you one of these guys who watch a lot of film? And if so, what weaknesses have you seen in Jason and you expect to expose?
He has a few tendencies, and I mean, I've been working for fighting a southpaw anyway, so I mean, a game plan is catching those angles, getting those angles. I got to get outside. I can't stay right in front of him. I can't stay within his range. I mean, there's all kinds of things I could really say, but it comes down to not standing right in front of him and fighting my fight.
So you are one that watches a lot of film.
Yeah, I mean, like when I do like to watch tape here and there, but I mean, I'm not looking to make a very strict game plan. It's more for tendencies, habits that he's created over the years. Because I mean, if you look at tape from 5 years ago and this year, and he's still doing the same thing, it's something that he's probably not going to break before fight time.
You're about 2.5 weeks away from the fight. What is your current weight?
Probably 175 pounds.
Are you one of these guys that cut a ton of weight the last minute?
No, I'll try to get it down to about 160, between 160 and 163, and then I'll cut the rest in water.
So what's your prediction for your fight?
JC winning by whatever the hell happens.
Is there a particular method you're going to win by?
No, not chasing anything this time. Whatever happens will happen.
So a lot of guys are calling people out. Do you have any plans to call anybody out after this fight?
No, I don't feel like I've earned that yet.
Is your plan to move back down to 145 after this fight?
I'd love to go back down to 145, but really I'll take whatever they'll give me.
All right, so the main event is Juliana Pena versus Valentina Shevchenko. Do you have a prediction for that fight?
Shevchenko by knockout.
Our last question I just want to ask you, JC, is, JC, have you submitted to the takeover?
This is JC Cottrell, and I've submitted to the takeover.
All right, JC, we're going to let you go out of here. I just want to say thank you for coming on. We're all going to be cheering for you. We wish you luck in your fight, and welcome to the MMA Takeover family.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your MMATakeover.com's interview of the week. Make sure you always check our website, www.themmatakeover.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.